John Griffin, the longtime CNN producer fired last month over child trafficking allegations, has been named in a Connecticut civil lawsuit alleging despicable acts of horrific sexual abuse and exploitation. For several years prior to 2020, the defendant solicited young girls, including the minor plaintiff, for the purpose of knowingly persuading, inducing, enticing, and coercing them to engage in sexual activities, sexual exploitation, and/or sexual trafficking. The lawsuit filed last week in Bridgeport alleges. Criminally, Griffin faces one trafficking charge along with 2 counts of attempted trafficking in federal court in Vermont after allegedly soliciting parents with underage children. Between April and July of 2020, Griffin allegedly invited 3 women and their underage daughters over for the purposes of sexual training. According to the federal indictment, only the Nevada woman took him up on his offer, according to prosecutors. The suit filed on behalf of a 9-year-old Jane Doe and custodial next best friend, Janet Doe, is seeking up to $15 million in damages and fees. Some allegations likely mirror those in a 2020 Nevada criminal complaint against the victim's adoptive mother in the federal indictment of Griffin announced last month. Griffin allegedly paid a Nevada woman more than $3,000 to fly to Boston and then stay at his multi-million-dollar Vermont vacation home for a week of sex crimes that involved her young adopted daughter.
Uh-oh, that sounds like pedophilia. Stop.
Includes drone video he took showing a completely naked 9-year-old girl standing next to him in his underwear, according to court filings. When confronted with this video during an interview by FBI agents, Griffin's first response was merely to suggest he was not looking at the naked girl.
You sound insane. Do you realize that?
Despite that she was standing so close to him to be touching, the prosecutor's pretrial detention memo reads.
Ex-former CNN producer pleading guilty today to one charge connected to the transportation and assault of a Nevada minor back in 2020. This is all according to court documents. 45-year-old John Griffin initially faced 3 counts in his case. That got negotiated down to 1. He is set to be sentenced in March. He is facing 10 years to life in prison.
All right, let's do this. Oh, hey, hi, what's up? How are you? You good? Great, I don't care. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by, whatever the fuck this is.
What is this? What is this, please?
This YouTube channel. To some of you, the scenery may be a bit jarring. I know I'm not in my ecstasy pill, where I usually record my videos. I'm traveling. So I guess I brought the mask in case I was going to make a video, so I did. I made a video. Yay. I mean, shit. So I'm trying to adjust the lighting so it looks more, you know, dramatic. Anyways, look, everybody told me, don't put videos of yourself on the internet. You know, that's just, people are going to make fun of you. No one's going to want to hear your fucking opinions because you're just a loser. That's what they would say. They'd say, you're just a loser. So anyways, I had to prove them wrong because I'm not a loser. All right, I'm a fucking loser. They said, no, don't put yourself on the internet. Don't. So I met them halfway. I put the look, hey, you know what? This light source, it's not working for me. It's not working very well. Today we're talking about child rapists. People, adults that groom and rape children. That's right. Today, a wealthy CNN producer has been arrested on child sex crimes. Shocker, I know. He works at CNN. But after almost 2 years of pleading not guilty, the 45-year-old CNN television producer, John Griffin, has pleaded fucking guilty. That's right, this motherfucker pleaded guilty to child sex charges for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old. 9. And that's after, obviously, he lured her to his Vermont home, which we'll get into in just a moment. All right, it's been a moment. Let's get into it. So basically, the producer for CNN, this John Griffin, he has a history of meeting women online and then convincing them to travel to his home in Vermont. And in this case, this woman had a 9-year-old daughter. He then engaged with illicit, illegal, unlawful sexual acts with the child. This shit makes my blood boil. He was also accused of bragging about seducing other young girls and luring them to his residence. Because of course pedophiles have to brag. They have to keep all the evidence, and they have to tell people, but they're so fucked up they don't realize that, hey, most people don't want to hear that, and the second you tell them that, they're going to go to the fucking police, which is exactly what you should do if you ever hear someone talking like this. Hey, I gotta change the mood. Is that too moody? How about that? Is that better? Ooh, red. Blue! Not too... Look, doesn't matter. God damn, I'm sorry. I'm losing daylight, so I gotta improvise. It's the only light source I have when I lure children into my room. So on top of him bragging about his sick pedophile ways to anybody who will lend an ear, he also suggested to a mother who has a 14-year-old daughter back in 2020 that she and her daughter should do a virtual training class over, a video chat, just a friendly little video chat, in which this pedophile would instruct the pair to undress and then instruct them to touch one another at his direction. Yes, you heard me correct. Incest. This motherfucker is trying to get mothers to sexually groom their daughters. This is fucked. Literally. Clearly, he has a type, which is the mother-daughter duo. So back to the original accuser story. So he allegedly lured this mother and her 9-year-old daughter to his home in order to, quote-unquote, train the girl, the child, to be sexually submissive. He then paid the mother $3,000 to travel from Nevada to Boston, where he then met them and then drove them back to his residence in Vermont. So he made sure that, he picked them up out of state, so it was just, off the radar. Anyway, according to the court documents, while at Griffin's residence, he allegedly, forced the 9-year-old to engage in unlawful sexual acts. The mother let her 9-year-old daughter get raped for the price of $3,000. I would argue she's more of a monster than the man who raped her. But either way, there's a special place in hell for both of them. That's for damn sure. So, of course, obviously, the police also arrested the child's mother, Heather Carricker, as she faces, serious fucking charges of child endangerment, child abuse, child sexual exploitation, child sexual acts. She whored out her 9-year-old daughter. And clearly, this is not the first. It's not a first for this fucking pedophile. This is what he does. This is what they do. The Me Too movement, that didn't change a goddamn thing. Those pedophiles, those rapists, are still pedophiles, and they're still rapists. They're just not raping the actresses. They're raping random people off the internet now. They have to find random people to try to exploit. All of the Jeffrey Epsteins and the Harvey Weinsteins and the Jared Fogels and the Jews, basically. Just joking. It's a joke. Fucking R. Kelly. Did we learn nothing? Have we learned nothing?
I admit I fuck with all the ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit, that's crazy.
No, they just got caught. That's it. So stop virtue signaling, because your hashtags and your Me Toozies, they don't mean fucking shit. Your little time's up sticker doesn't mean shit. You know, like 4 years ago, everybody would have called me a conspiracy theorist. But Jeffrey Epstein really exposed how deep and how global this child sexual exploitation problem is. Like, I hear stories like this, and it's what makes me want to join, like, the FBI and just go after these motherfuckers, you know. But the FBI is also fucked up. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to keep making YouTube videos, and that'll be the way I fight this fight. Honestly, I'm surprised this John Griffin, this producer, had the fucking balls to try to rape a 9-year-old and expect her to keep her mouth shut. You know, it's all about speaking up, man. I mean, don't make any false allegations, because that's not good, Amber. But whether you're an adult or a child, if you feel like you're being sexually groomed, coerced, pressured, well, you better call them out. Publicly and very loud. So that way they can't do it anymore. You know, as soon as you get called out for it. Well, actually, no. Old habits die hard. They're still going to fuck kids, but look, call them out anyway.
In just the past week or two, 2 separate CNN producers have been accused of child molestation. One of them was a man called John Griffin. He was just indicted by a federal grand jury for attempting to, quote, induce minors to engage in unlawful sexual activity. We're not going to get into details. They're horrifying. He's been fired. Griffin used to work for Chris Cuomo. He bragged about working shoulder to shoulder with him. We'll leave it there. Then just days after that story, Project Veritas exposed another creep at CNN. They published graphic text messages and a video of a CNN producer, apparently CNN producer, fantasizing about molesting a child. Project Veritas said the producer also allegedly sought explicit photographs of that child. So we called over to CNN to ask, is this one of your employees? We have the name. We're not going to air it because none of this has gone to trial. But does he still work there? They didn't get back to us. But this seems like a real story. So to put it into context, as of today, there are more accused pedophiles at CNN than Americans who have died of the so-called Omicron variant that's supposed to be so deadly. Now, that seems like news to us. You'd think CNN would be covering it. Like, what the hell? How many companies can say that? But that's not what they're covering. If you were watching the Eunuch show over the weekend, you learned that it's actually Fox News that suffered a week of, quote, embarrassing headlines. Paging Dr. Freud. We point up lots of examples of transference. That's when you take the sins you've committed and accuse others of them. Nothing better than this example.
I mean, yeah, Tucker makes a great fucking point. CNN hasn't said a fucking peep, not a word about this on their own network. They haven't said a word about this. He pleaded guilty. He admitted to it. He pleaded guilty. And they're not talking about it, and it happened on their own network. And that just goes to show you the level of bias, the level of dishonesty in the news, especially CNN. I mean, it's like all they did all weekend long was attack Fox News. All weekend long. The head fucking producer for CNN is going to prison, maybe for the rest of his life, and they're not talking about it. All they want to talk about is how crazy Fox News is and how they're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists. They just deflect. So stop watching CNN. You know, there's some good opinions on Fox, but overall, I don't really like mainstream news. I think you should fucking kill the mainstream news and let the real journalists investigate and tell us the truth, because everybody's got a fucking agenda these days, man. Everyone's got an agenda. Like, what the fuck does truth even mean in this day and age? What? We're being herded like sheep into the end times, into the apocalypse. So, wake up and fight back while we still have a chance and we're not all fucking dead. I would like to live to at least 55, thank you. That would be really rad. It'd be dope. This has been, well, I wish I could say fun, but that would be a lie. This has not been fun. But I hope you've had fun. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as Jeffrey Toobin likes jerking off on live TV. Demonetized. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. And as always, go to my merch store, my Patreon, or my CashApp, and donate as little as $1 a month. It goes a long fucking way. And I have quite a few presents that I'll be sending out to my favorite people. So, yes, I didn't forget about you. You know who you are. You're like, I didn't get that thing yet from Darth. He said he was going to send it. Never got it. I know. I'm just waiting for Christmas. They're coming. Your presents are coming. Anyways, don't forget to pull out. Stay Darth. Yeah. Yeah. I just realized. You know,
nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss.
For a kiss. You fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, we'll see.